The Memphis Grizzlies made a name for themselves over the last few years, with players like Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bane stepping up their games and the mighty Ja Morant. The team has a core that could easily be contesting for titles. It's no wonder they finished as the second seed last season. But it's a new season now, and in this video, we're going to be talking about why no one is talking about the Memphis Grizzlies coming into this season. You must be wondering, how is that so? How have they improved compared to last year? And what new star players are going to make a big difference? Well, stick around until the end as we answer these questions and more as we delve into the various intricacies surrounding the Grizzlies. Now, without further ado, let us begin. First things first, to gauge their significance for the upcoming season, we need to evaluate their performance last season. And from the looks of things, they were on an upbeat track. I am sure you know how they've steadily improved their standing as a Western Conference powerhouse. We've already talked about how they finished second in their conference, but did you know that they've also been doing that for the past 2 years? Setting the foundation for a third straight postseason berth? That shows just how consistent they've been. But, of course, it's not all perfect for the Grizzlies, whose star player continues his habit of undisciplined behavior. As you all know, Ja Morant missed 8 games last season for showcasing a firearm on social media. This led to much scrutiny and criticism, and the player accepted his behavior and the resulting outcomes, apologizing and promising it wouldn't happen again. But lo and behold, it did happen again, as he intentionally showed a firearm on his social media yet again. Now, considering his history, this time he was punished heavily, and as a result, he's going to miss the first 25 games of the 2023-24 season due to that suspension. This is a significant loss. But don't worry, the Grizzlies are not out of the game despite the early loss. It will affect the team's play. However, it shows that they can play despite their star player. And the rest of the squad, especially with the additions they've made in recent trades, can afford to miss out on Morant for 25 games. But you can't deny that the Ja Morant suspension will have its effects. Sure, they might have other stars who can carry the Grizzlies in Ja's absence, but still, it doesn't change the fact that their leading player is not on the pitch, and they will for sure be affected. That's why the Grizzlies dipped into the market this summer and did pretty well. They acquired Marcus Smart from the Celtics, who we all know was an important player in Boston. I would even argue that it was due to Smart that Tatum and Brown were so good for the Celtics, an unsung hero of sorts. So let's talk about his stats and evaluate how important he will be for the Grizzlies. Smart has played 581 regular games over his professional career, averaging 10.6 points, 4.6 assists, 3.5 rebounds, 1.6 three-pointers made, and 1.6 steals on 38.6% shooting from the field and 32.3% from deep. Now, that is decent, but wait until you hear about his playoff stats. In 108 postseason games, he's averaged 12.8 points, 4.9 assists, 4.3 rebounds, 1.9 three-pointers, and 1.3 steals, suggesting he may be even more effective in the postseason. But that is not why the Grizzlies traded for him. Smart, a 6'3" guard, is best known for his defensive prowess. He's been named to the NBA All-Defensive First Team 3 times, won the NBA Hustle Award 3 times, and was named the 2021-22 NBA Defensive Player of the Year. He provides Memphis with yet another strong defender to go along with reigning NBA Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr., and should mesh nicely with the offensively dynamic Ja Morant when he comes back. But you can absolutely bet they will be defensively pretty insane in this new season. So, it should come as no surprise that his addition to the squad will contribute to their ascent. It not only strengthens their defense, but also gives the team a solid backup plan in case Morant gets injured or, as you all know, during the first 25 games when he'll not be eligible to play. According to reports, Smart is ready to step in for Morant as the starting point guard thanks to his career-high 6.3 assists per game from the 2022-23 season. But their spending continued. They also acquired veteran Derrick Rose, who I am sure still has some years in him to give the Grizzlies top performances. But that's not the only thing that he's bringing to the team. His wealth of experience will be very beneficial for this young Grizzlies team. These young players will benefit greatly from having role models in Smart and Rose, as it's challenging for guys who are still developing to take charge. The Grizzlies realized this after last year's disappointing performance, during which they had a lot of talented players, but needed to have veterans to guide them. This season, they rectified it by trading for and signing Smart and Rose. They will bring invaluable experience to the Grizzlies locker room and are expected to play significant roles this season, especially during Ja Morant's 25-game ban. Rose will play a more prominent role than usual, but Smart is expected to maintain his spot in the rotation after Morant's return. But we've talked about the recruits, so let us now talk about the rest of the lineup. Looking at last year's team, I'm sure everyone knows that the Memphis Grizzlies' depth of talent and variety of available roles is one of the team's defining characteristics. I've already talked about how Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. have proven themselves capable replacements for Morant over the past few seasons. Metrics show that the squad has maintained a healthy point differential even without Morant. This shows just how well the team works together and how they can overcome obstacles. But with the new veterans added, you can bet that they're going to go that extra mile this season. But their spending didn't end there. Josh Christopher, a first-round pick in 2021, was acquired by the Memphis Grizzlies in a 5-team deal that sent Dillon Brooks to the Houston Rockets. Christopher, who the Rockets picked 24th overall in 2021, has really yet to do much in the NBA, averaging just 6.9 points per game in 138 games. However, he's got a lot of potential, and he's going to be used as a bench player for the season. He may come in handy, considering the injuries the team is dealing with. And speaking of injuries, the Grizzlies have also re-signed Tillman's 2023-24 team option, worth $1.93 million. Tillman concluded the season with career highs in points, 7, rebounds, 5, assists, 1.6, and steals, 1, after seeing an increased role due to the injuries to Steven Adams and Brandon Clark. Who knows, maybe Josh Christopher also sees a similar surge in his game. And then the last significant signing was the re-signing of Desmond Bane, which I am sure doesn't need any explanation. Another name making the rounds in the NBA is Kenneth Lofton Jr., shooting 58% from the field in 3 games. The Grizzlies forward went undrafted in 2022, averaging 20.7 points and 6.7 rebounds. But that's not it, as Lofton, who stands 6'6" and weighs 275 pounds, seemingly scores whenever he wants. No wonder he won the G League Rookie of the Year award with the Memphis Hustle last season. He was so impressive that the team decided to make his two-way contract permanent. If you want to see his game, watch him play for the Grizzlies by scoring 42 points and grabbing 14 boards in the team's season-ending game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. That game solidified his status as a bench player for the next season. I am telling you, the Grizzlies have a seriously talented roster. In the end, I think it's safe to say that the Memphis Grizzlies are undeniably an NBA powerhouse, despite not receiving nearly enough recognition. And honestly, these other teams don't even know what will hit them. While it is true that no one is genuinely talking about their greatness right now, wait till the start of the season. Then everyone will know just how impressive this roster really is. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.